This is me starting my first survival world in years. Let me tell you the backstory while I start off with the basics. You see, I always wanted a survival let's play. It seemed like a pretty fun thing to record, which I found out was definitely not true. And they also get let's just say a fair amount of views. So I obviously wanted to do that, but the problem was I am terrible at this game, and you'll understand the extent of this later on. I finally got my first tools at this point, which I used to brutally kill these innocent sheep and a few chickens, because what is usually led to my death in this game is running out of food while I'm in a cave, which is quite an embarrassing way to die, honestly. This happened multiple times when I tried to record a hardcore series, which I realized I'm not skilled enough for, so survival was what I had to settle with. I upgraded my tools and went caving for the first time, and let me tell you, I was terrified while doing this, blocking off any place where mobs could come from, as I had some not so good caving experiences in the past. I killed my first monster, slept my first night crammed in a hole, and the next day found a mineshaft. There wasn't really that much loot in here, and since I was too scared to explore any further, I left, already breaking a key rule of Minecraft by digging straight up. My pickaxe almost ran out, but I got out with a few points left. I saw a village at this point, so I left to go there, where I set up a temporary camp, and I finally got iron tools and a shield and went to bed, and then went mining again. I actually got a pretty decent amount of iron this time around, so I was able to get some amount of armor. That was my first session, and when I logged back on, I decided to go back into the caves for like the third time or something, as it was really annoying me that I didn't have a full set of armor yet. After this, I set out to go to the Nether, in hopes of finding a fortress and beating the game, but that did not happen. Somehow, after a fight that lasted way too long, I got a return to sender, which I didn't really care about. I was more proud that I hadn't died yet. But anyways, I explored for a while and chickened out after not getting anywhere. I didn't want to use chunk base to find a fortress in this world, as that's pretty much just straight up cheating, so I went back to the overworld. I decided that leveling up some villages would be the best way to get rich without risking my own death, so I got some spruce trees and began leveling up a Fletcher and an armorer. After a bit of grinding, I got full diamond armor, and about 2 hours into this world, I finally felt like I was getting some progress. I also leveled up a butcher, giving me a practically infinite source of chicken, and since I felt a bit more protected at this point, I decided to go back into Nether. I thought I'd strip mine for a bit, as I didn't want to get jump scared by some random creatures or something, but this meant that the process was so mind-numbingly boring. I don't even know if that makes sense honestly, but after a while, I ended up in this weird crimson forest, and I absolutely hate this biome with a passion. And for one reason only. These hoglins, or whatever they're called, do not leave you alone. I wanted to try and find a fortress, but my pickaxes ran out of durability from all the strip mining, so I had to go back. I made some tools and got sidetracked yet again, trying to level up a weaponsmith, and for this I needed more villagers. For some reason, no amount of food was enough to make them breed, so that ended up being a huge waste of time. So then, you guessed it, I went back into the Nether for the third or fourth time. I've lost track at this point honestly. For some reason, I started randomly speed bridging, and then got humbled as I realized I forgot my gold boots and would get hunted down in like 5 seconds. This wasn't too big of a deal though, as there's gold ores pretty much everywhere in the Nether. I used my bow to one-shot this ghast, which for some reason I was proud of, I don't know why, and a bit later I failed miserably at doing a boat clutch. And after that humiliation, I quit trying to flex and focused on finding a fortress, which my attention span pretty quickly gave up on. But I didn't get sidetracked this time. I know it's kind of stupid to do all this just for another fortress, but I warned you about my capabilities long ago. The amount of times I've died in a nether fortress is countless at this point. What I set out on doing was finding a new lava pit, and after exploring with no success, I just decided to dig down to lava level. And somehow, for the first time in this world, I got weirdly lucky and found some diamonds in the cave.
Oh my god! Yeah, boy.
Since I could make a diamond pickaxe now, I could just mine obsidian and build a portal wherever, which was really useful, as I could calculate the coordinates if I needed to, which I did end up using in the end. Since I was feeling a bit lucky, I decided to do some strip mining. I ended the expedition with a pretty decent 7 diamonds, and that meant that I could finally make an enchantment table, which I didn't use this episode, but I will do at some point. Okay, I promised I wouldn't get sidetracked, but I already failed on that. But let's get back to the main focus. I ran a few hundred blocks away and built another portal. I learned the hard way why strip mining in the Nether is a dumb idea, very narrowly escaping my own death. Finally, I managed to spot a fortress after hours of trying, but I didn't go in just yet, as I thought that making a portal going directly into the fortress would be a better idea, in the case that I would die. So I calculated the coordinates. I also portal, and there it was, the fortress staring right at me. Okay, that was way too dramatic.